Now it's time to press buttons and talk with Manky and ProZD.
I've come to terms. I'm not gonna figure it out. I've been working on it.
All right, just forget about it.
I don't get it.
I don't get Wright, but that's right. Phoenix Wright.
Where's attorney?
It was just a fucking Laurel and Hardy bit for 5 hours.
Where does Mr. Wright fit into this whole equation?
If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror,
am I stupid?
Then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye.
Objection!
Gotta object to drink your coffee.
How bitter. Trite, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time.
You're not really selling me on it. Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different?
You don't understand the way the witness thinks.
Well, that's true.
How he thinks.
You remember this, I presume.
The I broke the vase, sorry, apology Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony?
Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing vitamins. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg?
Probably his nose.
Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece.
Oh.
And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man. Ow. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing.
You do not sound like him at all.
Oh, yes.
They were both on his left ear.
Shit.
Do you hear? His left ear. How do you like that? Ha! I practiced that for 8 hours last night.
Wow, you anticipated this.
Well, Trite.
The whole time he's just like, I hope they ask me.
He was just watching footage of the trial like,
Godot!
It got better.
That's the worst and then the best impression of Kudo ever.
It was incredible.
Wow, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Godot's good.
Oh, apparently Godot is supposed to be good at it.
You should be into voice acting or something.
Enough! I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil in the contradiction you just found is a rash.
A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie.
If you throw them hard enough, I'm sure it can.
So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears.
You look like people to me. Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at la plans of la restaurant.
The mirror.
Ooh, sounds like a Netflix series about creepy stuff. Hello, is everyone sitting comfortably?
I'm just gonna make a creepy anthology show called The Mirror and see if Black Mirror has any problem with it.
Yeah, it'd be
I'm sure
fine,
they'll be fine with it.
La mirror, it was in the middle of la restaurant dividing the two halves. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting. After that terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way.
Maybe don't put a giant mirror in the middle of that?
I'm not a very good interior decorator, but naturally I did not touch anything else. No, oh, he stole the medicine. That's the contradiction.
I see no problems with this, unless Mr. Wright, you probably got something. I'll just wait for you.
Although we don't have his fingerprints, so that's probably going to be a thing.
From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror.
What a naughty little coquette I am. Coquette? Coquette I am. Confusing all the men like this.
Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. And that guy too.
I'm so scared. I hate that guy.
I know, I just can't help it. It's just the mirror's too big.
You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that?
Volunteer, of course.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you please.
I didn't touch anything
Didn't
else.
he steal the lottery ticket?
Oh yeah,
like
we know he stole the lottery
Yeah.
ticket, so that's, I guess, the contradiction.
He was in the middle of the restaurant.
There is only one seat on which you will croissant, the Eiffel Tower, blue. Okay.
I did not touch
I
anything.
did not touch. So where's the lottery ticket that says he took it? Is this
not that one?
Not. There was somewhere where we established that. Maybe
Try look at his profile.
Does it say he's a filthy thief?
I don't know. Nope. Okay, go back.
Oh wait.
Let's see.
I guess I feel like it'd be the lottery ticket, but I don't know if we have something that explicitly says that he took.
Then are we gonna say? But we don't know about. There's no proof for the medicine.
Right, because we don't have his fingerprints on it.
Right. Why don't we press it? See what happens.
Okay. Hold it. Are you sure about that? I touched nothing except la mirror.
Mr. Wright, is there something the witness has said that doesn't match the crime scene?
Yeah, there is. I just can't put my finger on what exactly because my evidence doesn't explicitly state it.
Ha! Suffering from a case of heartburn, Trite.
That too,
Need some Pepto?
I would actually love some Pepto. Oh, I look like Pepto. I have just this thing for that. An oil. He's like Pepto that has become a man.
Yeah.
An oil with golden myrrh and frankensteins.
Add a few drops to your coffee and voila. Enjoy.
Ew. Focus, Phoenix. Breathe. I need to ignore those two and just find some evidence.
I like sprinkling some Pepto in a cup of coffee.
That's gross. It is pretty strange though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. You'd think someone would have, but Maggie didn't, and neither did old Seedy. So only one logical explanation is there is no mirror inside Tribune that day. Now I've just got to prove it. Somehow.
Somehow.
Maybe I'll try the lottery ticket. It doesn't...
No, I don't... Because that's not the lottery ticket. I mean, it could be,
but we know that he took a lottery ticket.
Or maybe that's not even what they're talking about right now? I don't know.
Well, he's saying he didn't touch anything else.
Right.
And we know for a fact that he stole a lottery ticket. For half... Because this is the winning ticket.
Yeah, that's the one that they found on his person.
Yeah, but...
Why don't we... Look at the crime photo real quick.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's see.
So he's saying that the only way you'd be able, or there would be a mirror on the right side of this photo.
Let's look at the other part of the rest of the testimony besides this last part.
Okay. After I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. The seat next to the table, next to the victims, that's where the old man was sitting.
And then look at the photo.
Oh, wait. Oh, he didn't? He said that he knocked over his flower thing, and it's still there.
Right. And
so
Victor,
that's something.
in his testimony, he was like, I broke the vase, but in that case, the vases, yeah.
This piece of evidence contradicts with testimony we have heard, Your Honor.
The crime photo?
Yes. This photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist.
What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright?
Should not exist. Ha! Sounds like you're describing yourself, Trite.
Why are you so mean?
Damn.
why are you like this?
Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement.
I thought we were buds, Godot.
We were never buds.
Oh.
What is the something that should not exist in this photo?
Just this dude, like, fuck him.
Yeah. Should be a picture of you in there that we should
you know, you can... It's just really hurting.
Knock it off, all right?
I think it's pretty... I don't do that shit to you, dude. Or I guess I kind of do. I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture.
The vase? What possible connection does that have with this witness's testimony?
Did you just forget things? Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table.
I don't think he said it in the trial.
No, that was during the trial, yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay, I thought he gave it to us.
Yeah, that was the last thing that he
But they did
yelled,
say it in the trial.
Yeah, they're like, oh no, it's bullshit.
Right.
Oh yeah, because that's what this apology is.
No, I know he gave us that. Okay.
But that was established during the trial.
That was, okay,
yeah.
I forgot.
There's one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony, if you remember that far ago. It was a
while ago for me and us, actually.
Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was sitting on the table where he was sitting. And yet... as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Well, you can't see it anymore. This is what it should look like.
There is no vase.
Exactly. Making my point.
This is what it should look like.
I have doctored the photo because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table.
A big cutout of himself over the photo.
Yeah.
Now that this is here, you can't see the vase.
Oh, I get it.
I got it.
Giant
It's a
phoenix.
visual. I got it now.
Sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Objection. Ow. Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from.
Exactly.
Ah!
Sorry, I'll try to be quieter from now on.
Sorry,
There's
I
only
gotta easily
one.
start.
I do it very abruptly. There is only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Trebian that day. I mean, maybe in like the bathrooms and stuff, but not the one he's talking about.
not even in the bathroom.
Why? Okay, I won't break into that.
Actually, Disneyland doesn't have them. It's really weird.
Huh. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie.
Maybe they don't want you to see yourself and get depressed.
I don't know, if I look at the mirror, I get depressed.
I get real sad. I'll go.
Ow. Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene.
Objection! Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Try something else. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary, in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror.
Not bad.
I'm not as good as you,
You're not a
but...
thespian like me.
Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself?
I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day.
In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem.
5 plus X.
Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which he couldn't hear?
Ha! You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trite, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw?
If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. I'm
You don't need
out.
to try that.
I'm trying. I just, might as well have fun with it. I'm just not good at it.
This is a murder case.
It all flies. Okay. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony.
For me, it's just natural.
You're not one to talk about courtroom etiquette, Mr. Coffee.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. We're all real bad at math.
Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. We're all really bad at math.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's a bad answer.
It's a true answer. The reason behind all the contradiction in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. He made a mistake, the ear doctor made a mistake, or the victim was a phony.
I think it's the victim.
In my view, that. This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet, there is one very simple answer that clears them all up.
And what is that?
The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events.
What?
I said they're two completely different events. Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. He had a great healthy left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake.
Are
you making fun of him?
Order in the court. Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom.
Damn.
And no more coffee.
Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh?
What did you say?
Trite. Are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup?
Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo. Some Count Olaf shit.
Objection! I haven't seen it yet. Get real, Trite. Why would anyone want to do that?
Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Godot was most insistent about in his testimony was...
The serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. She was like sort of short.
It's so hard to believe,
Kind
but
of hot.
There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Godot this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee.
Objection! Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but... Ow! It's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening.
that's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
Ooh la la, this is most difficult for me. Objection! It's actually really easy for you. No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Tribulations that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened, and he will on the next episode of Press Buttons and Talk.
Hey, that's the name of the channel.
Yeah, it sure is, Charlie Brown Adults.
That channel sucks.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Guys,
You should watch another channel instead.
nope. Stay away from those other Let's Play channels.